And a good Saturday morning to you all. I'm Kyle LaBoria, sitting in for your KGFW Rewind. That's the show we do every Saturday morning where we take the previous week's game featuring the Kearney High Bearcats and we condense it down into about half an hour for you, just in case you missed it or just in case you wanted to go back and listen to it again. Well, last night's game, the Kearney High Bearcats welcomed in the Papillion LaVista Monarchs. Kearney High entering the game a perfect 6-0. Papillion LaVista stumbling into this game. They were 2-4 to start this game. But as Dave said during the pregame, they always seem to play Kearney very, very tough. The last couple of years have been long, drawn, hard-fought games between Papillion LaVista and Kearney High. Coming into the game, Kearney High 6-0 on this season, still not getting the love that they should be getting out of Omaha. At least that's this man's opinion. Ranked number 7 in the state at a perfect 6-0 record. I personally think they should be higher, but hey, that's just me. What do I know? I watch and listen to them every week. We're going to enter this game with quarterback Cannon Coster needing only 3 touchdown passes to break the school record, most touchdown passes by a Kearney High Bearcat. So we're going to take a look to see if he does that in this game. Papillion LaVista would start with the ball in this game, and conditions would be terrible. It was drizzly, it was windy, the rain was coming on and off, and the conditions were going to be a factor in this game. Papillion LaVista would go 3 and out on their first possession. A good job by the Kearney High Bearcat defense, and it wouldn't take Kearney High long on their first possession of the game to get into the end zone. Heck, it only took them 1 play. Here's Cannon Coster working his magic.
2 receivers will be split to the left, actually 3, as Jorgensen now goes in motion from the slot to the right side. Running option right side is Coster. Keeps it himself. He's at the 40 and will break a couple of tackles. He's at the 30. Makes another man miss. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cannon Coster. Bearcats strike early. A 46-yard touchdown scamper by Cannon Coster. And the Bearcats are on top.
Yep, put it in the books. A 46-yard touchdown run by Cannon Coster. It looked a lot like the touchdown run he had last week where he was just bouncing off tacklers, playing a little pinball in the midfield. Well, 1 play, 1 score. That's how we like to do it here in Bearcat Nation. They'd kick off to Papillion LaVista. Their next drive, the Monarchs would go 3 and out, and that's when the weather would start really affecting this game. The Monarchs would punt it away, the wind would catch the ball, and once again, Kearney would start their second drive of the evening at the Papillion LaVista 42-yard line. Primed to strike again, they would also go 3 and out as the field was getting slicker and slicker. So the Bearcats, forced to punt it away themselves, they would trap Papillion LaVista inside their own 20. The Monarchs would start at their own 13-yard line and start marching down the field. They'd get it right out to about midfield before they finally would stall their drive, having to punt it away at their own 44. Kearney would take their next drive from their own 30, and just 4 plays into the drive, Cannon Coster finds Masner for a strike.
Bearcats will send Obermiller to the near side on the right. Josh Ray and Isaiah Stahlberg to the far side on the left. This time split backs, Jorgensen on the left, Masner on the right, Coster in the shotgun. Looking down the middle, looking for Masner. Masner makes a catch. He was hit as a football arrived, but he still comes up with the football, and the Bearcats are on the board again. Cannon Coster hitting Miko Masner, his second receiving touchdown of the season. That is the 10th passing touchdown for Cannon Coster. He's now 2 away from being the all-time record holder for Kearney High.
Coster finds Masner for a 22-yard touchdown pass on that one. After the Gabe Hines extra point attempt, Kearney would take the 14-0 lead with just under 2 minutes left to go in the first quarter. Papillion LaVista would take the kickoff and only get it out to about their 14-yard line. That's where they would start their next drive. They get out to about the 33 at the end of the first quarter. They pick up at that same spot at the beginning of the second quarter and get pushed back. A good defensive stand by the Kearney High Bearcats. They've been doing fantastic on defense this year. They mentioned it in the pregame show. Kearney High only giving up about 7 points on defense this year. Papillion LaVista would have to punt it away to the Bearcats. They'd take their next drive starting at their own 43. The Bearcats would have fantastic field position all night long, thanks to Mother Nature inflicting her will upon this game. First play from scrimmage on the Bearcat drive would be a run by Studi and a face mask by Papillion LaVista, and all of a sudden a big change of yardage for the Bearcats would find them deep in Papillion LaVista territory. A couple plays later, they'd be inside the 20-yard line, and that's where Matt Studi does some of his best work.
Isaiah Stahlberg will be the lone receiver, split to the far side, an I formation here. Studi is the deep back. Coster hands it to Matt. Cuts it around the right side. He's at the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Matt Studi.
Touchdown!
Matt Studi, his
Touchdown.
first touchdown of the night, his 9th of the season. And the Bearcats now lead 20-0.
That's a 17-yard touchdown run for Matt Studi. Gabe Hides would come in and get the point after attempt, making it 21-0 Bearcats, with just about 7 minutes left to go in the second half. I want to say this about this Bearcat team. They are a very, very complete team. They can beat you in the air, they can beat you on the ground, and if you give their defense an inch, they will take it a mile long. They will beat you on defense as well. The kickoff would put Papillion LaVista at their own 20 after the touchback, and they would get some momentum going in this next drive. 3 plays later, they'd be in Kearney High territory, and it was 4-down territory for the Monarchs. You're down 21-0 near the end of the first half. Mother Nature is going crazy, so what do? You got to go for it on 4th and 1. Unfortunately for the Monarchs, this Bearcat defense is one of the best in Class A this year.
4th and 1 for Papillion LaVista at the Bearcat 31. Collins and Malik Barnes split to the far side, or to the near side. Tyler Robinson to the left. This time Barnett under center. Jerome Barnes the deep back, and Barnett wants to keep it himself. Boy, I don't know if he made it or not. It's all going to depend on the spot. Boy, coming out of the pile with the football is one of the Bearcats. It's Matt Studi. But from where our one official is standing, he's short of the first down marker. They're going to have to bring in the chains, but I don't think they made it. And it will be short. And it will be Bearcat football, and Davis Skiles comes running to the sideline. He's pretty jacked up.
A big defensive series there for the Bearcats as they forced the turnover on downs on their own 31-yard line. It looked like Papillion LaVista was getting a little bit of momentum going in their favor, and the Bearcats stiffened up and said, no way. They would take over the ball on their own 31-yard line. We've talked about it before on this program and during the broadcasts. Big plays have been a major factor in the Kearney High Bearcat offense this year, and behind most of those big plays is Miko Maisner. Here he is another time.
One receiver right, 2 to the left. I formation, Maisner the deep back. They send Stahlberg in motion once again. Pitch it to Maisner, taking it around the left side. Has a block. He's got a lane. He is gone. 40, midfield, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5. Miko trots into the end zone. A 68-yard touchdown run for Miko Maisner, and when he hit the edge, he had a great block, Andy. Nobody was going to catch him.
You know, I don't know what Maisner means, but if I had to decide, I would say it's run like the wind. A 68-yard touchdown run for Miko Maisner, virtually untouched, and when that guy gets into the open field, watch out, because he goes into about an 8th gear. 68 yards on that scamper. Amazing. The point after attempt would be good by Gabe Hines, and the Bearcats were rolling over the Papillion LaVista Monarchs 28-0 with just about 3 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Papillion LaVista take their next drive at their own 28-yard line. They'd be forced to go 3 and out. They'd punt it away. The Kearney High Bearcats would take the ball at their own 40-yard line. Would be one of the worst starting positions for the Bearcats in the first half. That tells you something. If you're starting at your own 40 and that's a bad starting position, it's been a really long night for the opposing team. Well, I told you the weather was terrible. It was raining, the wind was high, and sometimes mistakes happen.
Here's a pitch to Maisner. Going to take it around the right side. Now cuts it back across the grain. Gets it across the 30. And the football popped out. The football popped out, and Papillion LaVista has jumped on it. So Maisner will fumble the football. It will be recovered by Papillion LaVista. And all of a sudden, They have the football in great field position.
Great field position indeed, as Papillion LaVista would recover that fumble on the Bearcat 32-yard line with less than a minute to play in the second quarter. Well, with that time crunch, that means the Monarchs would have to work quickly. Their first play on this drive would be a 20-yard pass that would get them down to the Bearcat 12-yard line. And with 20 seconds left to go in the first half, the Monarchs would find their way into the end zone.
They send Tyler Robinson, split far to the left side. In the slot there, it will be Malik Barnes. To the near side, Jaden Collins. Handoff to Jerome Barnes. Wants to take it around the right side. Is he going to make it to the edge? Dives into the end zone. Is he in? Touchdown. Touchdown, Jerome Barnes. A 12-yard run around the left side. And Papillion LaVista gets on the board for the first time tonight.
Jerome Barnes, once again, a 12-yard touchdown run, turning turnovers into points. It's something that I talk about quite often during our broadcasts. The point after attempt would be good, giving Kearney High the 28-7 lead heading into halftime. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we got your second half of action from last night's game. The Kearney High Bearcats looking to improve to 7-0 on the season as they lead the Papillion LaVista Monarchs 28-7. You're listening to the Kearney High Rewind right here on KGFW. We'll be right back. We'll be right back.